All right, so let's get into it. How do you actually change your reality? Like most of the time, people think you have to do a certain accomplishment. You have to you have to do this one thing. You have to do this workout. You got to start this business. You got to do this thing. And then once you get there, then your life can start. Then you can start, feeling that shift, but it doesn't really happen like that. You know, I remember when I wanted to do everything I wanted on my goals. I wanted to do that workout. I wanted to start that business. I wanted to do all of these things. But the only thing that worked was not trying to figure it all out. Like so many times we try to figure everything out. We want to do it perfectly. We want to do it right. But sometimes the best thing you can do is to do it when you don't have it all figured out. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. Like, why do so many people in bad relationships get into another bad relationship and it keeps happening again and again? It's not because of the things that they get, like they don't attract wrong people, but essentially it's like, how is your thinking, like how are you going about the your world? Like, are you living in a state of fear? Are you living in a state of worry? And if you're going to bring that energy onto the world, it's like you will attract what's inside of you. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's actually the truth. Like everything that you want, it's like you can get it. The only thing that's stopping you is the way that you're thinking. And that's this whole idea of staying disciplined and staying true to yourself, is that if you can be that person where you have this ideal version of you and you look into the distance thinking, I want to be like that. That's the person that I want to be like. How do I embody this person? How do I become and speak like this person? And essentially, you don't, right? You have to assume that you already are that person. You have to speak, act, and do the things that person already does. And it's easier said than done. But at the same time, it's as easy as you make it to be. Like it can happen like that. It can just switch on like that. And it can happen tomorrow, today, and in the next hour, or even after we watch this video. And it happens very quickly. Like there was a point where I did not know what to do anymore. I didn't know, um like I thought I had everything figured out. Like for me, I'm very like strategic and I try to plan things out very much in specific details where I try to make it all perfect. And sometimes not everything goes according to plan. You try to plan for a trip, you try to plan to go to somewhere and something happens, right? There's always some unforeseen things that will always happen. And the only way to get around that is by messing up. Like you have to mess up sometimes. And it's okay to mess up. It's okay to know that, okay, everything that I do and everything that I try to do, it always fails. And sometimes that's a good thing because you learn more through failure than success ever teaches you. You can't change your reality without changing your identity first. Like so many people, they think if I change my habits, if I change my routines, if I change the way I do things, then I will start to change my whole reality. Then I will get to this. Then I'll become this person. If I start to work out more and more, then I'll start to have the body of my dreams. And essentially, you're not wrong. But most of the times, when you try to do that, you're not changing your whole identity. You're still operating from that same old operating system where you did not have that body. You're operating on your current circumstances, and that's why you cannot achieve that goal. I'll give you an example. For me, I'm a chef, right? You don't just become a chef by someone telling you, oh, you're a chef, right? No, you have to embody the lifestyle of the chef before you even become the chef, right? You have to think your food is going to turn out very amazing, very delicious in order for it to actually come out that way, right? You kind of have to believe that, okay, I'm going to make this dish and it's going to come out so good that I'm going to make it again before you even made it, before it's even done, right? And that's what it means to put in love into your food, to put in that authenticity where it comes out so good and that no one can actually replicate it no matter the recipe, because it's just not the way the person made it. And essentially it's kind of the same way. You got to put in that mindset. You have to put in that mindset of the person that you want to be before you become that person. And it is difficult, but one thing that has helped me was doing something so small, even if it's just like doing 10 push-ups every day, to help me to know that, okay, even though I don't feel like doing the workout today, I can do something as small as 10 push-ups, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. As long as I do something, then I can start to build that momentum, right? Once you build that momentum, then you can start acting more, right? You got to start with the little wins before you can get to the big ones, right? I always say you got to start with the wooden sword before you can actually use the actual sword. And that essentially means if you want to slice that life that you have now, then you have to use the wooden sword and practice it first. You gotta like keep practicing, even if it's not perfect, even if it's something where you have tried multiple times and you keep getting back up and failing again and failing. That's one thing you got to understand is failure is a part of success. You cannot have success without failure. And you got to understand, like, if you want something that badly, you can have it. But it's not as much as like it doesn't matter how much you want something that badly, right? You got to have the mindset of the person that you know you're going to have it. It's not a belief. It's like, I know that I'm going to achieve this. I know I'm going to be this person. Another thing is that your environment is programming who you are, whether you believe that or not, right? There are so many cases where even if you have the right mindset, even if you have the right plan, the right actions, you're doing the work, but you're in a shitty environment. You're in an environment where it's like it's so convenient to do the wrong things, then you're most likely going to do the wrong things. And this is why you need to change your environment. What are you watching every day? What are you like who are you surrounding yourself with? Most of those times, if it's not people or things that are helping you or benefiting you to do the right things, then it's so hard to change, right? You're always going to adopt someone else's mindset, someone else's negativity, and negativity is always going to be powerful than positivity, right? There are so many situations where you're probably in a good mood, right? I would be in a good mood, and I don't know, you talk to someone and they're in a terrible mood, right? They're so angry at the world, or they're giving you a problem, and that energy, it's going to flow right into you. Negative feeling, and it's like, damn, like I wish I never talked to that person. Like I love this person, but it's like today I was in a good mood until I talked to this person, and it's kind of like you got to surround yourself with positive vibes all of the time, because those are the things that's going to get you going. Those are what's going to help you keep pushing forward and moving forward and building that momentum. Now, it's okay to have affirmations. It's okay to journal and think positively, but in reality, it all comes down to action. It all comes down to putting in that work. There's a verse in the Bible that says, faith without works is dead. And that is so true. And if that is true, then the opposite must be true, that works without faith is also dead, right? You can do the work, but if you don't believe it's going to work, then it's not going to work. If you have a seed and you're trying to make it grow, right? And you don't believe it's going to grow, you're probably gonna, you plant the seed and then you water it for a day. And then because you don't believe it's going to grow, you're not going to keep watering that plant and taking care of it because you don't believe it's going to grow. And it's the same thing. It's like, in order to make something grow in your life, you have to believe that it will grow, and you have to do the work of making it grow. You have to water the plant, water that seed every single day. And it doesn't mean that you can't have days off. And it's what I kind of thought a long time ago about consistency, is that you had to do it every single day. And if you miss the day, then you have failed. But that's just perfection. I'm kind of a perfectionist, and I always think you had to do it every single day without fail. But sometimes you can't be perfect. It's okay to mess up or skip a day, as long as you keep going back to it. As long as you keep going back to that seed and growing it, watering that plant and taking care of it. Because eventually, it doesn't matter how long it takes, it will grow if you keep putting in that work. And there's nothing special about it on how you can change your reality. It's actually pretty straightforward and pretty simple on how you can actually go about it. Like, there's nothing special, nothing complicated about it. You probably already know what to do. You already know the things that you have to do in order to get a better life, right? If you don't like the life that you have, I'd suggest writing it down on paper. So much, like, write down the things that you you currently have, the things, the life that you have right now, and be super detailed on it. And like, write a line down the middle and write the life that you do want to have. What is it that you want? Who do you want to hang around with? Like, who do you want to be? And you compare those two, and then see what you can do every single day that can have that shift. It's not about having that complete massive change. Is the rule of Kaizen, getting 1% better every single day. Even if it's just 1%, you got to take the one step. It- like I said, you got to just do that 10 push-ups. You got to just do that one little thing that can change and build that momentum, because if you can do that, and if you can do all of these things, then I guarantee you, eventually, no matter how long that seed takes to grow, you will be able to change your reality. That's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoy it. Subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.